All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to start initiating the events for the second day of the VSNA convention here at Dallas, Texas. We'd like to keep on track and stay on time because at the end of the night we might have some nice ballet beats for anyone looking to bring out their inner Punjabi and get some dancing, but we can only do that if everyone's here on time and safe for the schedule. So first off, initiating today's events, we're going to have a Guru Basvana Vachana sung by Esha Basur. So let's go and give a warm welcome for Esha.
ನಂಬಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನೆಚ್ಚಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ನಂಬಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನೆಚ್ಚಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಲು ಕುಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದ ಪಶುವಿನ ಕರುವ ತೆಗೆದು ತಾಯ ಮುಖವ ತೋರುವಂತೆ ಪಾಪ ಕೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದವನ ಹಾಲು ಕುಳಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಬಿದ್ದು ಪಶುವಿನ ಕರುವ ತೆಗೆದು ತಾಯ ಮುಖವ ತೋರುವಂತೆ ಪಾಪ ಕೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದವನ ಎತ್ತಿಸಿ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ಶರಣರ ಎತ್ತಿಸಿ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ಶರಣರ ಚರಣವ ತೋರಿ ಎನ್ನ ನಡು ಹಿಡನು ಚರಣವ ತೋರಿ ಎನ್ನ ನಡು ಹಿಡನು ನಂಬಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನೆಚ್ಚಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋಡ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ತನ್ನ ಕರಣವೆಂಬ ಮರು ಜೀವನೆಯ ಹಿಂದೆ ಎತ್ತಿದರು ಹೋಡ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ತನ್ನ ಕರಣವೆಂಬ ಮರು ಜೀವನೆಯ ಹಿಂದೆ ಎತ್ತಿದರು ಚೆನ್ನ ಬಸವಣ್ಣದಿಂದ ಅಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಬದುಕಿದನು ನಂಬಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನೆಚ್ಚಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದೆನಯ್ಯ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ದೇವಾ ಕೂಡಲ ಸಂಗಮ ದೇವಾ ದೇವಾ ದೇವಾ
Thank you, Esha. That was a lovely Vachana, and definitely appreciate you opening up the event today. So following up, we're going to have a welcome song by the VSNA youth. The song was written to the tune of Hachivu Kadada Deepa by Indra Reddy and was coordinated by the lovely Shiva Prakash. So now I'm going to have our chorus come up here, and let's go and give them a warm welcome.
ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ನಡೆನುಡಿಯ ದೀಪ ಅನುಭವದ ದೀಪ ಬಾಳಬದ ತೋರುವ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ
ಶತಮಾನಗಳಿಂದ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರುವ ಕೊಳೆಯ ಕೊಚ್ಚೇವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಶರಣರ ಕಂಪು ಸೂಸಲು ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಣ ಚಾಚೇವು
ಶತಮಾನಗಳಿಂದ ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರುವ ಕೊನೆಯ ಕೊಚ್ಚೇವು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಶರಣರ ಕಂಪು ಸೂಸಲು ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಣ ಚಾಚೇವು
ಕರುನಾಡೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಮೇರಿಕವೇ ಇರಲಿ ವೀರಶೈವರ ಕಳೆಯ ಕೆಚ್ಚೇವು
ಕರುನಾಡೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಮೆರಿಕವೇ ಇರಲಿ ವೀರಶೈವ ಕಲೆಯ ಕೆಚ್ಚೇವು
ಮರೆತರೆ ಮಾನವ ಹರಿತರೆ ಶರಣ ಎಂಬುದೇ ಬಸವರ ಹಿಡಿ ನೆನಪ
ಮನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಹುರಿಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಹೊಸದು ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ನುಡಿ ನುಡಿಯ ದೀಪ ಅನುಭವದ ದೀಪ ಆಳಮದ ತೋರುವ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ
ಗುಣ ಬರಿದು ಗುಣ ತಿಳಿದು ವಚನಗಳ ಬೆಳಕ ಬೀರೇವು ಹಚ್ಚಿರುವ ದೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವನ ರೂಪ ಅಚ್ಚಳಿಯದಂತೆ ತೋರೇವು
ಅಂಗಗುಣ ಬಳಿದು ಲಿಂಗಗುಣ ತಿಳಿದು ವಚನಗಳ ಬೆಳಕ ಬೀರೇವು ಹಚ್ಚಿರುವ ದೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಿವನ ರೂಪ ಅಚ್ಚಲಿಯದಂತೆ ತೋರೇವು
ಮೊದಲೊಳಲ ಭೇದ ಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಭುವನದಾಚೆ ತೋರೇವು
ಒಡಲೊಡಲ ಭೇದ ಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಭುವನದಾಚೆ ತೋರೇವು
ಇರುಳ ಭಗುತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿನದು ಭೀತಿ ಕಾಯಕದ ನೀತಿ ಹಿಡಿ ನೆನಪ
ಮನ ಮನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ನಡೆ ನುಡಿಯ ದೀಪ ಅನುಭವದ ದೀಪ ಬಾಳಪದ ತೋರುವ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ
ಶರಣರು ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಹೆಸರುಳಿಸಲು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಗೂಡೇವು ನಮ್ಮೆದೆಯ ಮಿಡಿಯುಡಿ ವಚನದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಗದ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೇವು
ಶರಣರು ಗಳಿಸಿದ ಹೆಸರುಳಿಸಲು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಗೂಡೇವು ನಮ್ಮಿದೆಯ ಮಿಡಿಯುವಿ ವಚನದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಗದ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡೇವು
ಉಸಿರು ತೀರುವಿ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚಾಕ್ಷರ ಮಂತ್ರ ಜಪಿಸೇವು
ನಮ್ಮ ಉಸಿರು ತೀಡುವಿ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚಾಕ್ಷರ ಮಂತ್ರ ಜಪಿಸೇವು
ತೊರೆದೇವು ಮರುಳ ಕಡೆದೇವು ಇರುಳ ಪಡೆದೇವು ತಿರುಳ ಹಿಡಿ ನೆನಪ
ಚಂದ್ರ ನಡೆಸಿ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ
ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ
ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ ಹಚ್ಚೇವು ವಚನದ ದೀಪ.
I'd like to request Shri Arvind Jati and Shri Swamiji to come up on the stage along with our BOD and BOR chairs to commence the next part of our program.
We have an address from the convention chair, Abhinav Reddy. Abhinav's done so much for this convention, and I want you to give him a big round of applause, please.
Are we using that screen? Indra, are you using the screen? It's blocking my speaker, that's all.
Sharanu Sharanati. Welcome everyone to the second day of our 2017 VSNA convention. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about two words, and two words only: up and above. While up and above may seem like words that are so similar to each other, I believe that it is the difference between those two words that defines one of the core principles of the Virashaiva philosophy. What does it mean then to rise up versus to rise above? In many religions, the end goal is to rise above the problems of the world, to ascend to a higher level of consciousness or union with God. And in these religions, a devotee, through years of worship, is supposed to transcend the worldly ailments and achieve enlightenment, to be above all that ails the world. The Sharanas saw this practice in the Hindu creed and teachings around them, and in some way rejected this notion. Now let's look at the wise words of Urlingapedi and see what he has to say. How can a lotus acquire fragrance without filthy, dirty mud? How can one become worthy of gods without gold and the world? Your Sharanas relate to this world as a lotus relates to the filth and the dirt. Urlingapedi Priya Vishveshwara. Urlingapedi, a Sharana who was once part of the untouchable caste before joining the Virashaiva community, speaks volumes to the notion of how a true devotee should be. As a lotus must draw its nutrients from the filth and mud below it and around it, a devotee must not just rise above the injustices that they see, but they must rather have a spiritual obligation to rise up to these issues and grapple with them on an intimate basis. It is this kayaka, this honest work that one must undertake to address the issues of their time in community that is a cornerstone of Virashaivism. Now, the Sharanas would be only telling half the story if they left us with this call to rise up and fight back against injustice. So now we must look to the words of Alma Prabhu on how we address the issue when we don't know what to do. Standing at the brink, they know not how to enter the honey well. Only he who crosses the chilling oceans drinks the elixir. He has the philosopher's stone and the lead too, yet having a pot of holy water, they know not how to bathe. Only your Sharanas can, O Guheshwara. Alama Prabhu here is speaking to how many times you may face a problem and not know what to do. Standing at the brink, you may not know how to enter the honey well. Faced with an income inequality gap where women make marginally less than men, we don't know what to do sometimes. But Alama Prabhu says that the Sharanas are lucky because they have the answers to these problems. And those answers come through the teachings in our Vachanas. And by reading our Vachanas, understanding them, and understanding how to apply them in our lives, even when we are stuck, even when we don't know what to do, we can draw upon the collective knowledge of centuries of progressive thought and apply it to our life to find the right answer. So now, I ask each and every one of you standing here today to think about an injustice that you have seen recently, something that bothered you, something that made you uncomfortable. I implore you not to just acknowledge and rise above the problem, but to engage in that problem, to rise up to the problem and fight back to that unfairness. To me, in Boston, recently, I've been seeing police unfairly tackling and assaulting black young men. And to me, I can say I'm not a racist and rise above the problem. But I think as a Virashaiva, it is my calling in this situation to rise up, to be part of the response. And I think that is what the Sharana's message was to not rise above problems, but to rise up and fight back. And when you're at a loss of what to do, to look to your vachanas for answers, to look to them for guidance. And that to me is why we as Virashaivas must rise up. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav. That's a very thoughtful and creative homage to really what it means to be a Virashaiva. Next up, we'll be having our VSNA Youth President, Bilva Chandra, also address us as well. Let's give a warm welcome for Bilva.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to start off by deeply thanking you for attending the 40th VSNA convention, especially hosted by the youth. It's a huge milestone for us, and we're very happy to see that there's a lot of turnout and people are very interested to see what the youth can do. So honestly, a huge round of applause for everyone that's here and that actually attended this convention, because it really means a lot to us to have you here. So this year's convention was special, of course, because it was pioneered by the youth, but it also maintains the core programs, the core traditional values that we always uphold each year at our VSNA conventions. I would like to briefly thank everyone who made this annual convention possible, starting from, of course, Abhinav, Poonam, Dada Uncle, Chandu Uncle, Lakshmi Auntie, and basically every single volunteer that's here that put in their diligence and hard work into it. And their valuable time, of course. But despite the time crunch that we had for this convention, I truly believe that the vision that we had in order to fulfill this idea of Vachana as a guiding light has truly been fulfilled and pushed forward, which is something that's very valuable, especially in my life today. So when I talk today, I want to talk about a little bit about my experience as a Virashaiva in New Jersey, as a Virashaiva in the United States, and just being a part of this community. And I also want to touch on some things that I look to for the future and for the future of this youth community. So being a member of the Virashaiva community has indelibly shaped me into the person who I am today. Through VSNJ, I've been blessed by my extended family and friends that will last me for a lifetime. But most importantly, immersing myself into the culture and religion that comes with Virashaivism has allowed me to not only strengthen my community ties, but also question my role as a member of VSNA and question my identity and who I am and question what I believe in. Fulfilling the role as a National Youth President can seem very daunting, but it's an important milestone for me because it gives me the opportunity and the leadership to really be in this place where I have the ability to influence an entire community of young Virashaivas. And this organization is extremely tight-knit and valuable, and honestly, without it, I have no idea where I would be today. But, so I would like to talk about an important moment for me. It was actually last convention. So we had this youth forum, and a lot of people showed up, and we were talking about the meaning of Virashaivism. We had the Honorable Mr. Ramjan Darga there, and he was explaining to us what Virashaivism was, what our religion was truly about, and what we choose to believe in. And honestly, after I left that room, I was almost shocked by all these new things that I hadn't heard before. And then I realized this is a serious problem, the youth not really knowing the philosophy and the tenets and the aspects of Virashaivism. We need to educate ourselves. So when I became youth president, that was the very first moment that I thought of, mostly because I thought of that there's so much more that we can do to not only educate the youth community, but it's more about than just knowing, it's about engaging. So something that I really want to focus on is engaging the youth community, having them have numbers, having people show up to actual conventions, having them feel like it's not something that they need to attend, but something that they need to participate in. So in terms of my youth platform, I have something that I like to call the 3C approach. So essentially it focuses on three things: charitable giving, career opportunities, and coordination. So I'll be discussing this later in the general body meeting, so everyone please feel free to attend so we can discuss some great ideas. But basically the main part of this is that without coordination, without communication, and without actually engaging with the youth and having their contact information, making sure everyone's updated, there's no way that we can plan on expanding the youth that we already have. So personally, I think that engaging the youth is a key priority and is something that I plan to focus on deeply. So, yeah. So furthermore, I think that doing something that actually matters is something that we should really focus on, because it's very easy for us as youth to just get wrapped up in the organization as a part of our culture and something that our parents take us to, which is a great thing. But doing it for ourselves is also extremely important. Harnessing our own ideas, voicing them, and rising to action and to accomplish our own set of goals is vital in order for VSNA to grow and to remain resilient. This convention is evidently just the beginning of the many more endeavors that are to come. But with that, I would like to end on my favorite quote and my favorite philosophy from Virashaivism and from Basavana, which is work is worship. And I hope that with hard work and worship to that hard work, along with dedication and perseverance, we can truly bring the youth chapter to new levels. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great convention.